Okay, good morning everyone. Today's used car video will be the MR2. This is the second gen MR2, which I really like. Of course, I'd rather the first gen, but I don't think anyone rathers the third gen. That thing was just hideous. But so with the new physics model, I've really noticed it with this car. No longer is it a tail whipping happy guy sliding around, having your ass end facing forward. Now this thing actually shits and gets and handles properly. It doesn't kick out with that massive over understeer bullshit. It's held together pretty well. So this car is, of course, a favorite of mine just because of the fact it is a pop-up headlight having car from back in the day. A funny little point I'd like to make with this car is the engine, though tuned differently, I'm sure, was shared between the Corolla and the Celica of this generation. It's the same engine. So a lot of car manufacturers do that, where they use the same engine on several different platforms. Of course, like I said, tuned differently, so obviously you can't just yank a Corolla engine and pop it in one of these and have the same, performance. But, kind of interesting tidbit that it's the same motor, just tuned differently. But anyway, enough about that. Let's jump out, and we did do some tuning on this. Although light tuning, with the exception of making it extremely lightweight. I really like making the cars lightweight when I do tune them, is because they are very quick to accelerate and they handle so beautifully that way. So let's go ahead and pop out and we'll see what we did. And it is a beautiful rainy day, which means I can spend my morning doing this rather than going to work. Yay me. So, thanks, son, for the nice little handy clap there. I said handy clap.
Wow.
Okay, so here we go. Let's go into man, I love that car. Such a cool looking car. All right, let's go into detail here. So we're sitting at 595 performance points. We got 290 horses, a little bit more than stock, and it's only weighing in at 2,100 pounds. So let that sink in just for a hair, just for a moment. We're just under 300 horses at 2,100 pounds. That's like half the weight of a standard vehicle. Like most vehicles are like 4,000 pounds almost, like in the upper threes. Like, damn. So sport soft tires, normal suspension. We actually didn't even put suspension in this car because I wanted to keep it the same. And one thing I've noticed is when you do change the suspension on these mid-rear or rear cars, it has the tendency to be a little greasy. So we left that alone. We did put a different wing on the back just because I really like that style of wing. I think it looks really good and it kind of fits the 90s vibe. We did put a sport computer chip in it. We put the manual transmission in it and left it at 250, which is just fine. Has plenty of acceleration and top end. It's good. We put a high capacity intercooler in it because it comes stock with a turbo. Sports air filter and muffler. We put a racing manifold in it, aka headers. Why not? Sport brake pads. And brake system, which again, it just works so much better than the racing brakes, I think. Obviously, with the high-end racing cars, I think you would need the racing brakes, but for the street cars, the road cars, I think the sport brakes work just fine. I did put a brake balance controller with the switch to 2 toward the rear on purpose, just so that way if it does get a little happy in the rear end, that'll bring it down a little bit. So we got a semi-racing clutch in it. We did stroke it up and polish the ports, just for that little extra push to get it towards 600, and we did 3 stages of weight reduction and put some body rigidity in it. So what do you guys think of the MR2s? Do you like the old one? Do you like the current, the second gen? Do you like the third gen? Or do you just outright not like MR2s because they are technically the poor man's Ferrari? And look, it's got a tape deck. Yeah. Anyway, the interior, as usual with these 90s cars, is really nothing to write home about. It really isn't. That interior is just, that's the worst part about 90s cars. is the very boring, bland, gray plastic shit they put in everything. But I love the vents on the back. I love the style of this car. I love the fact it's a mid-rear and it was cheap. This car was not super expensive back in the day. Just a cool little car. I mean, obviously, if you got kids or whatever, it's completely impractical. And it's not like a wise decision to buy one nowadays. But honestly, if I had the money to buy one that was in semi-decent shape with a little under 100,000 miles on the odo, I'd pick one up. And you know what? Fuck it. The kids will have to fight themselves over who gets the ride to the store. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day on this nasty rainy day. I know I'm gonna. There's cold beer in the fridge. And yeah, it's going to be a good day today, boys. Gran Turismo, going to be a good one. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great one. Let me know in the comments below, do you like the MR2 or do you hate it? If you do like it, do you track it? Do you drift it or do you leave it as is? Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all of your views and comments. Have a good one.